solidarity, but I didn't know we'd have a chance to protest the restriction of our freedoms at the same time, very remarkably like that. And so one of the reporters said, well, the county people, well, first he said, there were two things. He said, you're not suggesting that Bush had anything to do with the county commissioners here. That didn't justify an answer exactly. But then he says, well, the county commissioner says it's for safety. So I said, well, how to answer that? I have wondered what Cindy would have said if she did see the president and asked him what the noble cause was. And he just said what he's telling us all now. He wouldn't mention WMDs. They briefed him better on that, that Cheney's wrong. There really aren't any WMDs there. So he wouldn't have said that. But what if he just said freedom, liberty, and freedom? And I wondered what she'd say to that. But then I read that she had asked herself that same question if she saw the president. What if he said that to her? And her answer would be bullshit. So I said, I'll just quote our leader here, Cindy Sheehan. Bullshit. And then I turned to the New York Times for and I'm old enough to remember this. You may not. That the New York Times, when dealing with this word that Abby Hoffman used in the Chicago trial, didn't know how to represent it in the Times, so they said a barnyard epithet instead of expletive deleted. But anyway, I didn't go so far finally to tell him what was really on my mind was, I'm going to tell everybody around the country where I go now, if you want to get arrested, go to McLennan County. That's the place where the police will really treat you right.
Yeah, we could listen to him all night. Oh my. We were always honored when we were in Camp Casey before with people that dropped in on us and stayed for a while. And Joan Baez was here, and we learned through a series of evening conversations of talk and song about the protest movement. And to have now Daniel Ellsberg to have been with us for these days, it's really been a special, special time. A special time. And of course, the reason that we're here, in the situation that brought us all here was because one brave woman came forward and sat in a ditch. And we would like to have that brave woman come forward and talk to us about sitting in that ditch. Yay! Cindy Sheehan. Yay! Not that tall.
God, you gave Daniel Ellsberg a standing ovation. Do I have to say bullshit? I'll say bullshit if I have to. This is my hot chocolate. That's better. Did I do something wrong? Oh, thank you. Can someone answer my phone? I'm just kidding. Wow, here we are again. How many of you were here in August? One of these days we're going to have to pick a time where there's good weather. It's not too bad. It's not too bad today. It could be worse, huh?
Yeah, tomorrow will be.
Yeah. But we had a lot of rainstorms in August. That's for sure. And A lot of times I thought we were going to be struck by lightning.
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night?
That was Tuesday.
That was Tuesday night?
Yeah, when I lightning hit. Yeah.
Here?
No, last summer.
Oh.
Yeah, we did.
What Tuesday night? We were here 3 Tuesday nights.
Yeah, the first Tuesday.
Oh, okay. So, we still don't know what the noble cause is, but we do. We don't know what the noble cause is. There is no noble cause. And that's why George can't meet with us, because he can't come out and say what the noble cause is. Like Daniel said, if he came out and said because of freedom and democracy, I would have said bullshit. Don't tell us that. You know, they think we're stupid. And we have to dispel that notion. We know when George Bush asked for the War Powers Act from Congress, he put 2 things, and 2 things only: weapons of mass destruction and a link between Saddam and Al-Qaeda. And we know that both of those things are false. If he had said freedom and democracy, that we were going to go to Iraq and be imperialists and take over their country and impose our system of government on them, which incidentally isn't working too well here, America would have said no. We're not like that. So they had to frighten America into going along with the invasion of Iraq.
Exactly.
Most of us didn't buy that. Most of us sitting here didn't buy it. So this is freedom and democracy at George Bush's brand. You can't speak out. You can't check out controversial books from the library. Your email is being read. Your phone conversations are being listened to. And they want to extend it. They want to give us a national ID card. You know, and don't take that. That's going to have a microchip that's going to tell them where we are at all times. You know, and even if it prohibits us from traveling, we should say, no, we're not accepting any more restrictions on our freedoms. I wasn't here the other day to be arrested, but I've been arrested twice already in Washington, D.C. The first time was on the 26th of September, where 376 people were arrested. And I told the judge, I said, I wasn't there demonstrating. Our ticket said demonstrating without a permit. I said, I went there to petition my government for redress of wrongs. I went there to exercise my First Amendment right to free speech and to peaceably assemble, and to petition my government. I said, I sat down on the sidewalk. I can't help it if 375 other people sat down next to me. You know, I wasn't over 25 people. Why do I need a permit to exercise my First Amendment rights? Is there a little clause that says that you can do that unless you're a group of more than 25 and unless you stop moving on the sidewalk of the White House? There's no clause in that, but we, the people, have accepted these restrictions on our freedoms. And so here, we're saying we're going to transport our freedom and democracy to Iraq. But then George Bush and Dick Cheney and all the other criminals like to say that we were attacked on 9/11 because they hate our freedom and democracy. So let's go over there and try to impose something on them that they hate. You know, and then they also say we were surprised by the insurgency. You know, and has there ever been an occupation without an insurgency? Ever in history has there ever been? A general stood up next to me one time and said that. He goes, we didn't anticipate an insurgency. And he sat down next to me after that, and I looked at him and said, what, are you stupid?